And then on the 7th, we have T Gaines. On the 8th, we have Reed Matthews. On the 14th, we have Hottie. And on the 15th, we have Stanislaw von Debrongnik. So, yeah, already May is looking up for Wrestling With for sure. I think we're done putting ourselves over, right, Scooter?
I'd say so.
It was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And before we talk about what the wrestling gods have given us this week, something that we should cherish for all of times, we do have to talk about some bad shit. The bad shit being, last week we covered, Jinder Mahal and Xia Li with a couple of others got released from WWE. Well, there were more to follow. Most notably, Cameron Grimes and Von Wagner were fired from WWE.
Wait, what was the second name you just said?
Von Wagner.
Oh, oh God! Please don't ever do a German accent ever again. Von Wagner.
I work my finger at your...
I resemble. I know nothing.
Cameron Grimes and Wagner. Oh, what are your thoughts about them getting fired?
I mean, Vaughn was just coming off his best-selling game, God of War, Ragnarok.
That was fucking terrible. Boo.
Dead joke of the night.
Boo. Boo this man.
Oh, that's not the first time somebody's pulled out that meme on me. Out of all of those, Cameron is the most surprising one because he didn't even see it coming.
Right.
And it's not like he wasn't trying. They just never gave him anything.
Which kind of sucks because he was a chicken salad maker.
I mean, they didn't continue the rich hillbilly gimmick.
No. He really didn't have a gimmick because they wasn't really allowing him to talk. And Cameron Grimes' biggest...
The man with the voice.
Exactly. He's a good wrestler, don't get me wrong, but you want to hear what Cameron Grimes has to say. He can cut a promo. And, when you don't allow him to speak, you're literally cutting the legs from underneath him.
Yeah. I'd even settle for him on commentary.
That would have been good shit.
I don't think Cameron Grimes, real name Trevor Lee, who was I think the last remaining WWE holdout of the Omega School, which was run by the Hardys.
I know Matt Hardy was there when he was born, so.
Best bet, Trevor Lee goes back to Impact. Cameron Grimes goes back to Impact. I have no doubts that Von Wagner will either get immediately picked up by AEW or he's literally going to be the next NWA champion.
I think NWA might be a better fit for him if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Is there a chance Cameron Grimes goes to AEW rather than TNA?
Hmm. See, Cameron is a smart guy. If he likely knows that if he goes to AEW, yes, it might be more money for potentially doing nothing.
But he wants to work.
Yeah, and he'd rather have the choices than essentially, again, getting paid to do nothing. I know everybody thinks that getting paid to do nothing is the best thing ever. But trust me, I've been doing it for too long. And I don't even get paid.
I was gonna say, when did I pay you?
I'm talking about my OnlyFans. God. Cameron will go wherever the Hardys go.
Well, we could. Should we get into it now? Matt Hardy made his return to TNA Impact. As Broken Matt Hardy. Once again. I don't entirely know what he did. I know he interfered in a match, but yeah, this is a thing now. If I know that he didn't technically sign a contract with them. He only made an appearance, and as far as I know, it is because I believe Nick Nemeth actually got injured, and he's taking his spot. So it's kind of a give and take situation.
But Nemeth's feud with Moose wrapped up.
Well, I mean, just because he's the feud wrapped up doesn't mean he stops wrestling. He has other commitments with the company.
I'm talking about if Matt is taking Nemeth's spot, why?
Because because they needed somebody to replace Nick Nemeth because he got injured.
So in other words, Matt's gonna be doing nothing.
I guess so.
Oh, hey, Eric Young, if you're listening, I've got this idea. You can have it for free. Bring back Jeff. Sign Cameron. Matt is delete. Cameron is control, and Jeff is alt. You have a new stable right there. Control, alt, delete.
Well, there you have it.
You're welcome.
Is Eric Young part of the creative team now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good for him, I suppose.
Ooh, God, you know what? On a completely, absolutely 100% related note, I gotta send congratulations to my much sexier and jacked up twin brother, Tony Nese, who just had his second child.
Oh, good on him. And we now can confirm he's had sex at least 2 times.
It's 2 more times than I've had.
You'll get there, buddy. keeping up with TNA, Mike Santana officially signed with the company. I wasn't aware that he wasn't signed, but now he's officially signed. So, good on him? Question mark.
I mean, yeah, the whole idea of signing someone is not to reveal it as something you finally got done after they made an appearance. You know, it's like you either announce it in advance or you literally announce it on the broadcast. Like that's just ridiculous. That's Impact trying to mimic what is hot in promoting talent, and they see since AEW does it, and to the point that WWE does it, but not as brazen as AEW. It's just it's ridiculous. They're just biting on it. I mean, with somebody like
what the hell?
Crap! I got to turn that off. Crap! It's my phone. So ringtone for my girlfriend.
She lives in Canada.
She's currently in the hospital. I wish she's in the ER.
Well, that's pretty grim.
I mean, doing that with somebody like Mike Santana, it's you're making Mike Santana seem more important than he is right now.
I mean, it
if
seems like they
he's
didn't make him seem important at all.
if they're going to put him
He
in
was
the
there for a couple months, and now they just decide to sign him. It's like, let's see if this guy works out. Like he wasn't there for like 2-3 years prior to that.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll pair him with Carlos Cabrera. No, Hugo Sabinovich.
Arriba.
Would you stop? Since he is apparently, since he's now all elite for some odd reason, I don't know why I felt the need to connect to that.
I think we're giving TNA too much time here, if I'm being honest. They did stuff, good on them, but
it's time to get from TNA to DNA.
And we are talking about Becky Lynch winning the Women's Championship on Raw in a Battle Royal. It's been quite some time since we've seen a title change on Monday Night Raw, let alone in a Battle Royal.
Well, I mean, technically it didn't change hands.
Oh, well, a champion crown.
I mean, it was given up to that great superstar known as Vacant.
Yes. We all know Vacant is the best wrestler. Honestly, I didn't see it coming, and it was really refreshing, if I'm being honest. Get it done one night. Not, it don't have to be a whole, thing. Get a new champion out there. We don't need a tournament to crown every fucking championship or have a tournament every time a championship goes vacant. So it was. Well, was this just a random episode of Raw? Yeah, but it's a little bit more memorable now because of what happened. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is it is. Did Becky really need the title reign?
But who else would have been able to take that belt?
Given what's been happening with her, Liv would have been the perfect person to get it onto, and Liv can brag about being the one who not only put Rhea out with the injury, but also didn't have to beat her to win her championship.
But don't you want it to be maybe more of an event if you're going to put the belt on Liv?
Then I wouldn't have put Liv as the final two with Becky.
Well, I think they're going the route of Liv needing a dragon to slay, per se, than just winning it in a random battle royal.
See, that's the thing here, is that almost by default now, the fans are starting to turn. The fans are starting to boo her.
Yes.
And since Rhea has, she's done this Stone Cold thing where she's been a complete entertaining bitch, and yet we still love her for it. While Liv does what a face should do, she's now, on that downhill slope. So I would have said, screw it, go the full heel. And just make Liv that, I won't say mean girl, but that mean girl who thinks, who's not being tough based on her size, is that she's being tough because she knows she can take it out on people.
I think Becky was only put in that position to later get beaten by Liv, in my opinion. So, like you said, she's not technically a heel yet. She is still, a face.
Yeah. Well, and
so,
Becky and Liv are apparently now going to be the match at Backlash. So.
Right. So, what's the best way to get Liv over as a heel? Well, put her against the biggest babyface that they got. Another, unexpected thing, to say the least. What is his name? Ludwig Kaiserroll, he turned on Leonardo da Vinci on Raw, seemingly breaking up, Imperium.
Von Wagner would have been a good fit there.
Well, I mean, his forehead's still under contract, so maybe that can make an appearance. Um, I mean, what what happens here? Because I mean, Gunter doesn't need them. He's never really did. But it's a cool presentation, the three of them. Imperium. But could we potentially see a new Imperium? I don't think Leonardo da Vinci is going to get over as a face if that's the route they're trying to go.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be employed much longer either.
Do you think that was just work ethic, or he has been known to get injured a lot more often than the other two?
Um, it's not work ethic per se. It's just they had put so much work into being the new gimmick separated from Imperium, and when Vince went retired the first time, he gets put right back in Imperium. And since then, he's never really Vinci's never really looked like he's enjoyed himself since then.
You might not be wrong about that. I just thought that was his face. So we shall see what happens there. Dragunov might be coming in, and him being the third man, with Gunter and Kaiser Permanente, that might be something.
No, you're not gonna make Dragunov subservient, especially since he and Gunther had a match of the year in front of no audience,
which makes it easier for nobody to remember.
No, if you ask me, that makes it a hell of a lot easier to remember, because it's easier to when there's no fans, there's no noise. So yeah, Giovanni Vinci is most likely on his way out. He will probably end up in TNA.
Bring us your lost. Bring us your sick. Bring us your wounded. We're TNA. Talking about bringing stuff. London, England. There is somebody running for mayor, and I kid you not, this is not a work, this is not a rib. Sadie Khan. Sadie Khan
What the hell? When did London get a mayor?
Yeah. Will bring if they get reelected mayor of London, they want to bring WrestleMania, the Super Bowl, the NWO, the NBA, and the Olympics all to London. They do know that, we play football with our hands and not our feet. Right?
Well, all this, the NBA and Major League Baseball, they all do games in other countries the first weeks of the season. There has been an Olympics in London I think there's been
2012.
yeah. So that's believe me, London doesn't need another Olympics. Given how big it is, since London is the size of one U.S. state, and it's Vermont.
Well, we're not necessarily talking about, the Olympics here, but, the one thing, why we're talking about it is because they mentioned WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We've been talking about WrestleMania being in the UK for quite some time now. And when this statement was made, Triple H did tweet out, "Let's talk." Only kind of reaffirming what we kind of expected.
Yeah, uh, that London was definitely on the horizon, and that they actually wanted us to, uh, they want us to guess a lot more uh, for 41.
And I don't know why. This should have been already set in stone. But from what I'm hearing, WrestleMania 41 will be in Las Vegas
Oh,
May
God.
4th and 5th. It would will be the first WrestleMania in May.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what? Because it would be what, hurricane season during they don't want to associate with Caesar's Palace anymore.
Well, I mean, well, like I said, it's going. Wait, it's just because it's being in Las Vegas doesn't mean it's going to be in Caesar Palace. It's going to be in.
No, I'm saying that's why they're doing it in May.
Why May?
So because the previous WrestleMania in Las Vegas was in March.
But if they did it in April, what's the difference?
What are they putting in WrestleMania's place? Then why would they stretch out the Royal Rumble?
That's a good. Do we know where Royal Rumble's going to be next year?
Oh, I
I don't think so. But it does. As like you said, Rumble is January. That's a long time to have a number one contender for WrestleMania. Not to mention that SummerSlam would only be like what, 2 months, 3 months away. It's a bit extreme, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and considering how many PLEs we're getting from in between Mania to SummerSlam, and they're all in another country.
Right.
So that doesn't make logical sense unless they're planning on rearranging the entire outlook of the WWE calendar.
You would have to do the Rumble in February at that point, right?
They'd think of some way to apparently still do it.
We shall see. You know, nothing's kind of. The only thing that was really confirmed was that it's going to be in Las Vegas. There hasn't been a date necessarily set in stone. So, we'll see what happens there. Oh, on a different note entirely, James Drake and Zach Gibson are making their own wrestling promotion.
But they just showed up in. They showed up in Impact for a cup of coffee. Now they shot a promo for a cup of coffee, and now they're starting their own promotion. Jesus fucking Christ!
It's called Burning Heat Pro Wrestling. The first event will be June 21st in Liverpool. Big surprise it was going to take place in Liverpool. But first and foremost, I hate the name. Burning Heat. Like,
It sounds like an STD.
Oh, God, you stop it.
Ooh, STD Promotions. Venereal by design.
Like, I mean, like, how about instead of like burning heat, like we know heat burns, what about freezing heat or?
What about Jock Itch Pro Wrestling? What about We're Not FTR Pro Wrestling?
Oh, that might be something.
How about How the hell did I wake up in this bed Pro Wrestling? And why am I handcuffed to this chopped off arm Pro Wrestling /.com?
This doesn't really seem like a game changer. It just seems like a new independent that popped up on the radar. No?
See that's starting to be the signature for every released talent that seems to have an iota of talent. You know, AOP, we're going to do a promotion. Nope. Yeah, part of me wonders if they're just doing it to because I don't know if this was announced before they announced they were all elite.
I could not tell you.
Oh God! I just think of that name and
but you know what?
It makes me not want to. Basically, it only means my penis is now for show.
But you know what? You mentioned a great name for a promotion, Iota of Talent.
IoT. No. There was a wrestling game on the Super Famicom, the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo, called Gekitu Burning Pro Wrestling.
Okay, maybe they're a fan of the.
I mean, they might as well have just called it Fire Pro Wrestling.
There you go. That would have been easy.
But yeah, except that name is trademarked.
Oh. Well, it's a different country.
By the video game series Fire Pro Wrestling.
Well, I mean, it's a different country.
Who literally had a deal with New Japan. That's why Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and everybody from the start of AEW are in the game.
Right.
Even Naito guides you through your career.
Because that's what Naito does. It'll be interesting to see if something happens. I'm sure everybody's clamoring for a What Culture Pro and
No.
Burning Heat collaboration.
Oh my God. No. No. Why did you say that? Oh God.
And
Great.
here's why. My name is Simon Miller.
And this is whatculture.com. I'm blah 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 blah, and I'm from What Culture. Now, here's 10 useless reasons why I should no longer be a human.
Well,
I go back to thinking about that fucking asshole in a robe wearing the title, despite never having actually been in the ring. Adam fucking Blampy, the bastard.
I'm not even gonna. Off. I'm not even gonna ask.
You know what? I hope he gets the crotch rot. Crotch rot pro wrestling.
Oh, will you stop it?
I mean, it's either that or. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wait for it.
We're waiting a really long time.
The Alliance of Independent Depressed Superstars. AIDS.
Isn't the League of Depressed Superstars just TNA?
No, it's Rampage. And
oh, okay.
Collision too.
Gotcha. Alright, that being said, speaking of Rampage and Collision, Goldberg, he did an interview, as you do, and they asked him if he would ever go to AEW. To his reply, no, he wouldn't, because they're just too cheesy. This is Goldberg's words, that AEW is too cheesy. Hypothetically speaking, what kind of cheese do you think AEW is?
Well, they're definitely not shredded.
They can't be American cheese.
I'd say they're a big, stinky Roquefort.
Have you ever had Lunchables?
Yeah, that's not cheese. I'm pretty sure that's not even food now.
No, the cheese that you get it, like, it seems like legit, like, cheese, and, you know.
Yeah, like it was just cut off a block.
Yeah, something like that. But then, when, cheese like, product. If you put it in, like, the refrigerator,
it grows mold.
It shrivels up like it was never really food to begin with.
Yeah, because that piece of processed cheese food product is about 95% water.
And now it contains lead as well.
Oh, yum. I can relive my childhood and freak out in my crib again.
So, AEW may be cheesy, or maybe it's not cheesy, or maybe you have your own opinion on the matter. Not you, but, you know, the listeners. Oh,
cheesy ain't easy.
that being said, um, Tony Storm did uh, the media scrum after AEW Dynasty, and she mentioned Nikki Garcia, Nikki Bella. She her reply to Nikki was that she saw Mercedes and wanted to get into AEW, but when she saw Tony Storm, she realized that, and I quote, "Do not cancel me here. I'm repeating what she said. Nikki Bella can't hold a pussy-scented candle to what she does."
Oh God. Oh my God. You do know there are places that actually do make that.
Oh God, really?
Yep. Basically that's all of that's Gwyneth Paltrow's entire brand. That's what Goop is.
Oh my.
But vagina candles.
Well, we know what.
And I'm not talking about the shape. Like, it smells like fresh pussy in here. God, oh God, not gonna. Oh God, oh God. See, Tony Storm is easily the best thing on AEW right now.
She's arguably the best female wrestler out there right now.
Yeah, and the legit most entertaining. I watched a movie today that apparently somehow Mercedes made that in between New Japan and AEW, and she plays an assassin named Nikita, coming right up following Monday Night Raw. And as soon as I watched him, like, okay, there's Tyrese, there's Havoc from X-Men, who else? Oh, there's Don Johnson, and there's Mercedes. My
Was she
God,
the
that
lead?
no, she
Okay.
was the second female lead to Ruby Rose.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it was pretty low budget if Ruby Rose was in it.
yeah, pretty much. Casca Reeves is the best she's ever gonna be on screen anywhere ever again. But oh God, I literally closed my eyes. Next time I opened them, credits.
So it was a good.
Meanwhile, no, it was awful. It was god awful.
No, I mean it was a good way to sleep.
Yes, yeah,
Like, it was
especially
a good
since especially since I only slept for 2 hours until I put that on. But you could give you give Tony Storm 2 sticks to bang together, and she'll make it work.
Hell yeah.
And honestly, I think she's trying to get as many female superstars to say obscene words for female parts as possible. You realize that she's daring Nikki to come back with her own, uh, rated R comeback.
Well, I mean, nobody ever accused Nikki Bella of being a good promo, so I can't imagine where that would be cringe.
Like, where the most, where the most, anything considered abrasive is the woman has said is, "I'm gonna break you, bitch." Like, okay. That did not sound cool at all. Oh my god. You know what Nikki needs to do? Nikki needs to come back at Tony as Tony.
No, that would be so.
Oh my. Oh, every female superstar needs to dress up like Tony.
You can't. That's gimmick infringement.
Oh, but it'll be so great for when Tony Storm has her downfall.
Oh, which will come, and it will be just as good as the Rise.
Well, technically, we've seen the fall.
Technically, yes, but I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, it got her to this point. It got her to what we see now.
Yeah, it evolved.
So the fall is the rise.
Right. So is the Rise the fall?
I don't know, but what I do know is we will do it chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe.
Well, talking about pussy-scented candles, Tony Khan.
And his dad.
The end of AEW Dynamite last Wednesday. So Tony Khan coming out, reinstating Jack Perry as a member of the AEW roster, and then Jack Perry proceeded to punch Tony in the stomach. The Young Bucks and Okada came out to protect Tony Khan, only to continue the attack on Tony Khan, giving him a Meltzer driver.
It is now the Tony Khan driver.
That's right. They renamed it that, didn't they?
Yes, the TKD. This was so blatant and over the top that it might have gotten over just by the sheer unbelievableness of it. It might have gone backwards in time and gotten over, because this was apparently enough to bring a billionaire Khan Sr. Out. But I think I can sum this up perfectly. WWE is in a new era. Tony Khan is thinking AEW can enter some sort of attitude era of their own, with him, finally bringing, where he finally gets to, learn the hard way that he's not actually meant to be in the ring.
But Tony wants to play. Let Tony play.
No. All right, fine. He can go play in the sandbox, and he could eat all the Tootsie Rolls. Spoiler: they're not Tootsie Rolls.
What?
No, it turns out they're turds.
Did he get him from Mark Henry?
Uh, no, I just know I didn't put any Tootsie Rolls in there. Uh, I mean, this is Tony Khan trying to be the new Mr. McMahon. And as a face, nonetheless. That's not gonna fucking work.
No.
Like, you can't be the owner of the company and a face and on TV at the same time. There's a reason that doesn't work. I mean, apparently it was enough to get Kenny to show up next week.
Kenny's gonna be on TV next week?
Dynamite. He's been advertised.
Really?
Yep. My guess it's got something to do with Forbidden Door, which is now at the UBS Arena instead of Arthur Ashe.
Because they can't fill it?
Okay.
So, you kind of gave your feelings about, this. I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm going to maybe surprise a lot of people. I actually thought this was fantastic shit. I absolutely thought this was so funny. This was entertaining. It was mildly cringe. It was one of the more interesting things they've done in a very long time. And I'll say this, I'll hand it to them. For the first time in like the 5 years that they've been active, they're trying. They're trying something here. Nothing fell into their lap. They're not. It didn't happen on accident. They're trying to do something. If it works, if it doesn't work, whatever. But at least they're trying to get people talking about them. Like, for the first time.
I mean, they could have placed more emphasis on the fact that they had their first African American world champion.
That doesn't matter.
That's the thing. You laugh, but we both know that's true.
I'm not going to shit on Tony Khan for, taking what he took, the way he took it, because
I will.
It's bad.
Yeah, but it kind of ended up being the most perfect Meltzer driver ever.
But like the fact that he got punched in the stomach and then he fell flat and then he was like, oh, I need to sell. Oh, my stomach hurts. And I don't know if you noticed, but like when he got him up for the Meltzer driver, like Tony, he wrapped his legs around Matt's head.
Yeah.
And it just looked so awkward for like a couple of seconds.
Because you know what that indicates? That he didn't train to take that bump.
Right.
He was counting on the Bucks to not kill him.
And he's not a trained professional, but so I'm not going to shit on him for the way he took what he took. And if you do shit on him, just remember how Vince McMahon took the Stone Cold
Oh
Stunner at
God.
WrestleMania 38, and then you you compare the two, and you say what looked better.
See, there's two ways of there's really two ways of selling. There's the Shawn Michaels school of selling, uh, and then there's the Ric Flair school of selling, where you either oversell or you dead sell or undersell everything. you
There's a
know,
sale on aisle 2.
I mean, the whole taking 3 steps before taking the actual bump is something I actually did try to replicate in my own career. Uh, because I was everybody told me I couldn't bump. Apparently, well, they're all dead. But see, that's the thing with AEW, though. What is this podcast's true opinion of AEW? It's always
Uh, is it in the woods?
one, 2 steps forward, 10 steps back.
That's right. How did I forget my saying?
Uh, and I mean, of course, when something goes good for AEW, there's something that has to cancel it out. It's like natural law at this point.
You're absolutely right about that. Um, that like you said, who obviously Jack Perry and the Bucks are villains at this point. I do wonder what the payoff of this is. Where is this going? I'm assuming it's going to be blood and guts. Um, but like, who is for Tony Khan? Who's going to be his protectors? Obviously, Eddie Kingston is going to be one of them.
Clearly, Tony Khan is going to be in the match.
Oh God, no!
No, oh, he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be that guy who does one thing in the entire match, and he's gonna say he carried the match. And then the next week, or the next show, Tony clearly turns heel and joins them.
Obviously,
I mean,
they're heading in the direction of the Young Bucks is running AEW.
well,
But
I think
yeah,
the natural direction would be for Tony to get a team of former WWE superstars. Why not? Why not go full on with a caricature of how the wrestling world sees you? Why
how about
not play into it?
I got it. Next week, the Young Bucks come out and they say, now that Tony Khan isn't in charge, we had to take directive order, and we sold AEW. And then here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Shane
And then,
McMahon comes out.
and then all of a sudden it switches to no chance. And Vince just smacks him. He twirls his friggin' piece of shit mustache and goes, "That's for WCW, fucker."
He comes out with the new kittens he adopted, and he hands one of the cats to Tony Khan. That's the only pussy you're getting.
I was gonna say he throws him into the crowd.
What? That's endangering the crowd.
Kitten grenade. and then all of a sudden they're doing Tony Khan drivers on the kittens.
Don't even joke about that. We do not
Yeah,
need PETA on our ass.
do you, PETA, people eating tasty animals?
Will you stop it?
Why? If God didn't want us to eat animals, he wouldn't have made them so delicious.
I'll say this. I'm somewhat morbidly curious to see where they go with this. Tony Khan's the first face owner of a company to get attacked in this manner.
He's the first friggin' because he doesn't have the good sense to stay off camera.
And if going back to what you said about Tony being in the match, I wouldn't give a shit about seeing Tony Khan in a match, but I'd be interested to see Chad Khan in a match. He looked like legit pissed. Maybe because he had to be there.
Apparently he was. And wait, you call his father Chad?
Isn't it Chad?
No, it's God, it's like it's is it Hassan?
Chad Khan.
Shahid.
So it's Shad.
Please, we don't need Al Qaeda or Mujahideen on our ass, please.
So it's Shad Khan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they.
Well,
I don't know why they call him friggin' Shad.
From now on, Shad is now Chad, and Tony is Mark.
What up, bro? It's me, Chad Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Chad Khan, and I am here to kick it 360. I am sorry. You know what? No, I don't apologize for that. I don't believe in DEI inclusion in entertainment.
And if you didn't think that the circus was ended on Wednesday, then you clearly didn't see Thursday, which was the legitimate NFL draft. Maybe people know, maybe people don't know, but Tony Khan is the owns the
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. And to everybody's delight, he came in a fucking neck brace. And he came in the neck brace. He wasn't necessarily selling. He was turning his head all over the place. And yeah, it was mentioned multiple times that he got attacked the night before by the Young Bucks, etc., etc.
He was actually cutting a promo on the NFL Network. And God, again, this is why Tony really should either have his lips fused together or have his vocal cords and tongue taken out. The man referred to what he took as a spike pile driver.
It's a Meltzer driver.
Yes, but if you're caught a pike driver, apparently, since the person who wrote this apparently can't spell.
He wrote what he heard.
I mean, spike tombstone pile driver. It's one of the deadliest moves in pro wrestling. It's been banned in a lot of states. It's illegal in the state of Tennessee. Bullshit! What fucking law on Tennessee's books. Well, you know what? It was probably signed by Kane. Uh,
Because of
Nyla Rose.
I was gonna say Larry, Jerry the King Lawler, but that sounds better.
Yeah, pretty much. Jerry Lawler is on. He's got an IV with two needles. One is regular IV fluids. The other is a constant liquid compound of Viagra and Cialis. Um, but never mind. We're getting off the point here. And for them to do that to me, and for the millions of people around the world that had a great audience Wednesday night on TBS, it scared me and scared my family. And I just feel really lucky that I'm here at the NFL draft. Cheap pop. Hold for cheap pop. Go. And with the Jaguars, and be able to still be working with the Jaguars and AEW right now. Like, you really feel lucky to be working. You own the fucking promotion! God! I mean, the man is literally trying to suck his own dick at this point. He is trying to blow himself.
Well, that's why you
And,
Steve Meltzer, right?
yeah, and that, you know what? That's why he's trying so hard. It's the last thing people told him he can't do. It's like, if I have to break my neck, my back, my pussy, and my track. My pussy scented candle, that is. Now available on AEWshop.com. Don't be a fan, be timeless. Oh God, timeless Tony Khan. Oh God, I just had a brilliant idea.
No. Just no.
No, wait. Tony Khan, if you were listening, you can have this one for free. After taking the Meltzer driver, or TK driver, you now have amnesia. And now he doesn't know who the fuck he is.
I will say it was incredibly entertaining to see Shad Khan in back of Tony with his neck brace, and you could honestly tell he's thinking, "What the fuck is my son doing right now?"
Like, and you know, the speech bubbles that popped off, you know, over his father's head popped up. I miss cocaine, and over Tony's head, I need to do more cocaine.
And a lot of memes came out of this. I don't know if you saw the one where they're holding Tony Khan and Okada is in front of him, and it just looks
Like he's sucking Okada off.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something I felt too, and it was very awkward.
It was, and it looked, when like watching the footage, it kind of looked like that was the direction that they were gonna go, but they didn't. Thank God. And you know, it being football and whatnot, Pat McAfee was there with a panel, and he commented on Tony Khan. He said, Tony Khan's here. He took a Meltzer driver last night. I don't think he mentioned AEW. He said he just took a Meltzer driver. But he's still here. And that mustache on Shad is always going to be iconic. The other guy on his panel who I believe has nothing to do with pro wrestling, then added, he's wearing that neck brace. You could sell a little bit, Tony, and pretend like your neck actually hurts. You're moving it all over the place, like you move your whole body.
I may not say this a lot, but God bless Pat McAfee. Way to go, Pat.
Pat didn't say that. Somebody on his panel did.
Well, maybe Tony thought it was a medical test panel, and they were testing a new type of cocaine.
It's great that we could all come together from different ethnic backgrounds. Wrestling and football. And we could all make fun of Tony Khan. This isn't just a wrestling meme now.
I mean, he makes it so easy. Too easy.
I mean, his comments about WWE.
Oh my God!
We're the underdogs. We're the Pepsi, and they're the Harvey Weinstein.
Hold on, I've got it. I've got the actual quote in front of me. Oh God! All right. You might want to keep an extra pair of shorts on hand because you're likely going to piss yourself laughing. On AEW being up against an evil juggernaut in WWE. You know who I am. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. AEW, we've been doing this for 5 years, so clearly we know what we're doing. We're the most successful sports startup since the AFL. What the fuck is the AFL?
I have no idea.
Does he probably meant CFL?
That's out of my jurisdiction.
Pre-merger, there has not been a challenger brand who has gained so much market share as AEW in many, many years. Oh my God. It's like saying, well, you know what? There's A and there's B. And A had the complete share of the alphabet until B came along. We are like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. We are up against an evil juggernaut. WWE is our competitor. That's who we're facing. AEW is like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. Naturally, the antithesis to this would be WWE is like the Coca-Cola of pro wrestling. Or even any other soft drink. But no, because apparently people are bottling Harvey Weinstein right now because Tony Khan thinks, and I quote, we're the Pepsi of pro wrestling. WWE is like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling, and I'm really proud of what we do down here. Well, Tony, I'm pretty sure Harvey was proud of what he did down on the floor of his office because the fucker couldn't get back up. Like Pepsi and Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, absolutely two equally equivocal things that absolutely could be, compared on the same exact scale. I mean, Pepsi, it's good tasting and it's fizzy, and Harvey Weinstein is a rapist. Oh my God.
Hold on. Let me try to maybe play devil's advocate for Tony for just 1 minute. Maybe he didn't want to associate WWE with Coke because Tony loves Coke.
Ow! Bravo for that one. Dad joke of the night.
Thank you.
I'm surprised he.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't say Sprite. Or water.
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
bottled water. Yeah, that's over. Thank you, Tony Khan, for giving us material this fine Saturday morning. The wrestling gods have definitely smiled on us.
We look forward to next week's never-ending clusterfuck of clusterfuckery.
Speaking of
cluster. Wait. Clusterfuck Pro Wrestling.
There you go. Actually, there's a clusterfuck battle royal, so
doesn't count.
Fair enough. Speaking of clusterfucks, the WWE draft was yesterday and this Monday. We're definitely going to be talking about all of the drafts, all the shakeups, next week on the show, because then we have a better understanding of who was drafted, how, when, what, where, all the details. Until then, I will say that it's fucking stupid that they made that big what to do about signing Braun Breaker to SmackDown just for him to go to Monday Night Raw. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
And Valhalla will be off TV again with another 9-month injury.
Oh, congratulations to her. Alright, and now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.